Daylight. Mobbing on earth, boy. Showtime. Hey.
D-Mark got that heat.
Curtain call, let the show begin. I know it's hurting y'all the way I'm going in. I need a murder dog covered for the times I was killing shit and y'all ain't know it then. Working hard, long hours in the trap, in my bag like some dope again. Lit that blue magic, no Nicky Bonds cut. Niggas know who I'm doper than. Everybody, old nigga, new nigga, only see a challenge in a few niggas. A lot of y'all can wipe the smile off your face on the mob, it ain't none of you niggas. I just put the switch on the new blicker, rapid fire spitting, it's a foosh nigga. 2 Street for a lot of you niggas, hard knocks life, body 2 jigger. Back on my shit again, endurance, I tire them out like it's Mitchell, and I'm about to put on that shit again. I was trying to be humble, but fuck it, I'm still a man. Go rap like a kilogram. They finna spin this up top like a ceiling fan. I'm about to pop like a trigger man. From that hustling stock, so I'm all about my dividends. It's showtime, I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind, had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time, now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time, now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga, pulling on the nigga, I should pull a Kevin, kick her in the titty. Nah, I'm being petty, baby, I'm just kidding. Going with your move, I ain't even tripping. I had groupie back when I was in the kitchen, had 3 county, catching what I'm pitching. Montana way, started with the dishes, out of town played, not the pocket trip. Real G's round me, we don't do the fiction. Niggas rub me wrong, it gon' be some friction, it gon' be a spark. I'ma stand on business, ain't no favorite op. I can't stand them niggas, they gon' lay in dirt. Candlelight visuals, face on the shirt. Now you get the picture, Psalm 23. Now you get the scripture, homies, they gon' fly. They done got religion. I be outside, functioning with killers. Police outside, hunting for the dealer. Bitches mouth wide, hungry for a nigga. I ain't even drop no money on the ticker. True player, I be turned with the ism. Bad bitches know the vibe I be giving. Fuck the haters and the lie they been telling. They'll make the news at noon 10 and 11. Showtime, it's showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind, had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time, now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time, now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga, showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind, had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time, now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time, now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga. Daylight. Mobbing on earth, boy. Showtime. Hey.
D-Mark got that heat.
Curtain call, let the show begin. I know it's hurting y'all the way I'm going in. I need a murder dog covered for the times I was killing shit and y'all ain't know it then. Working hard, long hours in the trap, in my bag like some dope again. Lit that blue magic, no Nicky Bonds cut. Niggas know who I'm doper than. Everybody, old nigga, new nigga, only see a challenge in a few niggas. A lot of y'all can wipe the smile off your face on the mob, it ain't none of you niggas. I just put the switch on the new blicker, rapid fire spitting, it's a boosh nigga. 2 Street for a lot of you niggas, hard knocks life, body 2 jigger. Back on my shit again, endurance, I tire them out like it's Mitchell, and I'm about to put on that shit again. I was trying to be humble, but fuck it, I'm still a man. Go rap like a kilogram. They finna spin this up top like a ceiling fan. I'm about to pop like a trigger man. From that hustling stock, so I'm all about my dividends. It's showtime, I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind, had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time, now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time, now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga, pulling on the nigga, I should pull a Kevin, kick her in the titty. Nah, I'm being petty, baby, I'm just kidding. Going with your move, I ain't even tripping. I had groupie back when I was in the kitchen, had 3 county, catching what I'm pitching. Montana way, started with the dishes, out of town played, not the pocket trip. Real G's round me, we don't do the fiction. Niggas rub me wrong, it gon' be some friction, it gon' be a spark. I'ma stand on business, ain't no favorite op. I can't stand them niggas, they gon' lay in dirt. Candlelight visuals, face on the shirt. Now you get the picture, Psalm 23. Now you get the scripture, homies, they gon' fly. They done got religion. I be outside, functioning with killers. Police outside, hunting for the dealer. Bitches mouth wide, hungry for a nigga. I ain't even drop no money on the ticker. True player, I be turned with the ism. Bad bitches know the vibe I be giving. Fuck the haters and the lie they been telling. They'll make the news at noon 10 and 11. Showtime, it's showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind, had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time, now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time, now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind. Had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time. Now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches funny like the whole time. Now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga.
Yeah. And we live. Hey man, say man, it's your boy DAA, man. Daylight TV. Back at y'all with another Rise and Grind live show. Starting the week. Already a little late. Going a little, whatever. Y'all know, I'll be working on a lot of different shit at one time. So, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long or whatever, because sure we all have things to do. Oh shit. Yeah, I came on here and anyway, yeah, I came on here and my whole goddamn computer just shutting down. Like, I don't know if it had to do an update or some shit, but it picked a hell of a time. Shit, hit that like and subscribe button for me if you are on YouTube. We are on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You know, so share the live, tell a friend, to tell a neighbor. You know, let's try to turn this into a community, a movement. Dig. Quick birthday shout outs in order. Shout out my boy Jay. You know what I mean? Only from around the way. Shout out the Boogie BMF. It's his birthday yesterday too. That out the way. And yeah, bro, we're gonna get right into it. Y'all already kind of seen a little clip or a little piece of the footage. So shit, right. Yeah, I gotta open on my tab. Oh shit. All right. So, first up, we have Bigxtheplug arrested right after his, or either right after or right before his album was supposed to drop. Leave the album, but I hope you're happy with it. But took some notes from the news. So Xavier Landon, known as Dallas rapper Bigxtheplug, was arrested in August 2025, charged with misdemeanor offenses for marijuana possession and unlawful possession of a firearm. The arrest occurred hours after the release of his third studio album, I Hope You're Happy, resulting in the cancellation of his planned album release party. Now, on the evening of August 21st, 2025, police stopped random Dodge Ram TRX for not having a front license plate. The stop happened in Dallas as Landon was leaving a restaurant. When asked about weapons, Landon reportedly said, "Yeah, mine is under my armrest." Officers found 2 firearms and a small amount of marijuana in the field. database check flagged random with being a documented with documented gang affiliation in Arlington. This designation makes it a misdemeanor for him to possess a firearm in Texas. Just a minute. This is Big X's second arrest in 2025, because in February, Arlington police had arrested him for marijuana possession during a stop on for expired registration, I think it was. And officers reportedly like smelling marijuana, and I guess they used that as like probable cause. And they searched the car or whatever and found a handgun in the car. So, damn, it's almost like a Boosie situation. You know what I mean? Instead of like this is second time, but I don't know. I don't know if I doubt he'll be charged federally for this or whatever and shit. I think the misdemeanor and all of that. I mean, he must not have no felony. So I don't know. Because usually you get caught with a strap, but I mean Texas is, they a gun state, just like Florida. So yeah, shout out Bigxtheplug, man. He's definitely a dope artist. I fuck with his music. Got a few joints I actually like. For real. But yeah, man. Shout out Xtheplug. Yo, nigga AJ, Cali, man. We got Canada, we got Jersey, we got New York, we got West Coast. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Y'all on YouTube or whatever, hit that like for me, man. Share the live. If you want anything, share the live. But yeah. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens with Big X for that shit. It don't seem like he was on no bullshit while he had the gun. It's Texas, my nigga. You a rapper. The gang affiliation shit always like hurt. That's why, I had a situation where they tried to put my name in a gang book. And, I had to like lawyer up and get that whole thing, squared away. But yeah, man, hopefully that shit work out for him. Real talk. Shit. Next up, we got Mayo. Mexican drug lord Ismael Mayo Zambada to plead guilty in federal charges. All right, that's him when he got snatched up, kidnapped, arrested, napped. So yeah, Ismael Mayo Zambada has agreed to plead guilty to federal charges in a deal with U.S. prosecutors. His change of plea hearing is scheduled for today, Monday, August 25th, 2025, in Brooklyn, New York, according to prosecutors. Zambada and, according to prosecutors, Zambada and his partner, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, transformed the Sinaloa cartel from a regional drug gang into one of the largest drug trafficking organizations in the world. Not just America, the world, Craig. Prosecutors have announced that the 77-year-old drug lord is expected to plead guilty to one count of racketeering conspiracy and 1 count of operating a continuing criminal enterprise. Yo, these niggas will make a deal with anybody, bro. A key factor in the plea deal is that federal prosecutors agreed not to seek the death penalty again. Yeah, I mean, he definitely qualified, bro. Like, this shit's great. 1 count. So yeah, somebody, you know, Mayo was arrested or kidnapped, depending on, you know, how you look at it, because there's still a lot of mysteries surrounding the capture, you know, of, you know, well, his capture. You know what I mean? Like, the known details suggest like a dramatic kidnapping and betrayal that involved his longtime partner El Chapo and, you know, well, more so his son, but I guess I don't know how that works. But conflicting narratives have existed between Zambada's accounts and the initial reports from like U.S. authorities and Mexican officials. Now, in a public statement released by his lawyer in August of 2024, a month after he was detained, Zambada claimed that he was kidnapped and brought to the U.S. against his will. Zambada stated that he was lured to a meeting with Joaquin Guzman Lopez, son of El Chapo, outside of Culiacan, Sinaloa, on July 25th, 2024. Upon arrival, he said that he was ambushed by Guzman Lopez and 6 other men in military uniform. Zambada said he was thrown onto the ground, handcuffed, and a hood was placed over his head. After that, he was taken to an airstrip, forced onto the plane, and basically tied to a seat with like zip ties. So I guess they had it like on to the, you know, to the joint, whatever. You know what I mean? It looked like they was in front of him, you know what I mean, in that picture. But that picture looked like more so, because they had one of him like actually on the plane. But that more so looked like a vehicle, like you see the back window and all that shit or whatever. So I don't know, that must be like when he landed or something, or when he was being driven to the airstrip. The plane landed in Santa Teresa, New Mexico, where U.S. federal agents from Homeland Security Investigations and the FBI arrested, you know, both Lopez and El Mayo. Now, the U.S. officials' initial narrative was that El Mayo and Guzman Lopez, Chapo's son, was arrested when their plane, believed to be flying to northern Mexico for real estate purposes, but instead landed north of the border. Now, key element of this, you know, that seemed kind of off is that Guzman Lopez, who had been in negotiations, or secret negotiations, damn near, pretty much duped El Mayo into, you know, getting on the plane. One official described El Mayo as the cherry on top, I saw, when he was speaking about the surrender operation, you know what I mean, for Guzman Lopez. But no matter what the version of the story you believe, both Zambada's statement and initial U.S. reporting both point to the betrayal of Joaquin Guzman Lopez, the son of Zambada's former cartel partner, El Chapo. And if you want to get technical, hold on, this is actually that's Mayo, and well, that's Mayo, Fat Mayo, and that is Joaquin Guzman Lopez, Chapo's son. the one that set him up and all that. But yeah, but like I said, bro, if you want to get technical, Mayo kind of had it coming. Because you see, in 2009, after meeting with DEA agents, Mayo's son, Vicente, was known as Gordo, Mayocito Gordo. He was arrested by Mexican police at like a luxurious home in Mexico City. After being extradited to the U.S. in 2010, Zambada negotiated a secret plea deal in exchange for providing extensive information on the cartel, snitching, right? And he pleaded to drug trafficking charges in 2013. As a key cooperating witness now against the cartel or whatever, Zambada Jr., Vicente, he testified against El Chapo during his trial in 2019. And his testimony detailed drug shipments, internal rivalries, and the immense corruption fueled by the cartel's operation, including monthly bribes of up to like $1 billion paid to Mexican officials. Now, on the subject of Mexican officials, Mexican authorities stated that they were not involved in the operation, and the circumstances have prompted an investigation in Mexico into whether or not government officials were involved in handing over a Mexican citizen to foreign agents, which could be considered treason. It's crazy, right? Like real narco state. You know what I'm saying? The plea deal, I mean, this represents the downfall of one of the world's most powerful and elusive, like, drug lords. So for decades, like, El Mayo has aided capture. I don't know if he's ever really spent a day in jail. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he did all of that or whatever, bro, while El Chapo was arrested, tried, and sentenced to life in prison in the same Brooklyn court that he got to plead guilty in, today. Probably in that bitch right now. I guarantee you he is. The plea deal also raises questions about the future of the Sinaloa cartel and other cartel rivals and shit, right? Because you got Ivan Guzman Salazar and his brother Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar. Now that they're half brothers, Ovidio and Joaquin, Lopez or whatever we were just talking about, are in U.S. custody, they're now the primary leaders of, the Chapitos faction of the Sinaloa cartel. Now, in a surprising move, Los Chapitos have reportedly formed an alliance with none other than the CMG, which is the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, headed by El Mencho. Okay? Now, that is kind of crazy because they used to be like adversaries, like they had real smoke. You get what I mean? But they're clicking up basically in a move to get rid of El Mayo faction, because then they could run the whole show. The power struggle has caused like significant territorial shift, you know, with all the infighting and everything like that. So some factions have actually started aligning with former rivals. And experts believe that the Sinaloa cartel, as it was known, is gone now. But we're seeing like, I don't know, I feel like we're seeing hybrid group come together, like how the insane sets in Chicago have been known to click up, which is kind of interesting when you think about how Chicago was a major hub for the Sinaloa cartel, with the Flores brothers, the twins moving tons of bricks, and they ended up testifying at Chapo trial. Their wives, I think, got booked for money laundering and all that. But let me know what y'all think about this, man. Like, what do you think is going, or who do you think is going to be the next big drug lord in Mexico? Or, well, shit, like, are they even gonna, is the next drug lord even gonna be from Mexico or Latin America? Because if not, then I would think maybe somewhere in Asia, since, they heavy with the Fetty Wap, they thinking all the Fetty Wap comes from over there. You got the Middle East, they grow most of the heroin or whatever, or the poppy that gets processed into, the heroin, dog food, whatever, clever in your hood. And so that's the supply chain. It could be moving through like Eastern European organized crime group, like Russian, Albanian mafia and shit like that, because cocaine is booming in Europe. And also it's a lot of former politicians and former cartel heads that are moving to Spain. You know what I mean? And even when Vicente got El Mayo's son got bad, he was over there in Asia or some shit like that or whatever, trying to build a lab or something like that or whatever out there, so that they can manufacture the drugs and they don't even have to go through all the transport shit. You just gonna have manufacturing in every continent now. So yeah, man, this is definitely makes it whatever for some let me know y'all personal thoughts in the comments as well. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button or whatever and shit, man. Subscribe. Like. Help the algorithm. Alright? Daylight TV. What we on, man? Flowing. So, alright. So next up, man, gonna get into some hip hop shit. If y'all noticed, should have known we were gonna touch on that now. Y'all see that ferry in the background. Heard. But oh shit, I didn't think I was in. Yeah. But so yeah, I didn't want to show up my little cover. Yeah, man, but on the subject of hip hop, we got Ghostface Killer, Supreme Clientele 2. What a good year for Staten Island, bro. We got a Raekwon album and a Ghostface album. And they both pop. Get into it. So Ghostface just dropped Supreme Clientele, the highly anticipated sequel to his 2000 masterpiece, which was released on August 22nd, 2025 on the Mass Appeal record label, Nas's joint. The album is actually part of Nas's Legend Has It series. I guess that's the whole thing with the Emperor's New Clothes. I believe they just did Slick Rick joint. I gotta go and hear the Rick joint or whatever. I saw like the video, like little art project thing they did for it, but I didn't actually get to hear the album in its entirety. So I definitely want to do that, whatever shit. Because as far as old school rap, you know, like Slick is legendary rap. Slick is my one of my favorites from like the 80s. But back on Ghostface, man. So I listened to the album, and all I got to say is it's a gritty, classic New York hip hop joint. You know what I'm saying? That star-studded roster with like guests like Raekwon, Method Man, and Jizza as far as on the Wu-Tang side. You got Nas, Redman, M.O.P., Conway, and Styles P on that. Tell you, go crazy, right? Ghost, man, like, to be over 50, like, he really balanced out, like, the wordplay, the storytelling with, like, a rugged-ass delivery. Like, it still sounds fresh and vibrant. You know what I mean? Like, detail and, like, the street narratives, all of the slang, and, like, bro, the shit is fire. Like, he really was in his bag with that shit. You know what I mean? The beats got that golden age New York sound with, like, the soulful samples. You know what I mean? So, but it comes off more vintage than dated. Like, sometimes that shit just, you know, like when you try to go too nostalgic with it, it sounds a little dated. You know what I mean? But most of them joints is like high energy, reminiscent of like that early 2000s, like that beat knot. You understand what I'm saying? The album includes flips of like the classic break samples from like My Melody by Eric B. and Rakim. That's what he used for the Rap Kingpin joint, which is like the first single on the album. And it kind of the Rap Kingpin joint kind of gotta feel like the song Mighty Healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the feel of it or whatever. If y'all go and listen to Mighty Healthy, and then y'all go and play Supreme Clientele, like if y'all listen to it, you'll hear like Mighty Healthy with a little bit of that check out my melody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's that. It's another joint on there that's fire called The Tribe. And it's like a posse cut featuring Raekwon, Jizza, and Method Man in like a courtroom drama concept. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was hard. They got it's another joint on there called Candyland. And it's like a street record, but it's using like the metaphor of candy. And they got like a carnival like beat, like you kind of think about like Coney Island, like cotton candy type, you know what I mean, shit like that. But Metaphysics is like a theme song for Ghostface and shit, like just defining his style over, you know, like how that is, like the beat, it just got that vintage flavor. Like, I don't know how you Ghostface joints, like if you listen to Iron Man and all that shit, whatever, bro, like it really sound like, sometimes I be thinking about like Miseducation of Sonny Carson or like black exploitation film, like Black Caesar and all that shit. Cause it's like action movie type, you know what I mean? Shit. But my personal favorite track, crazy to say, is the intro. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, that's easy to listen to the first track. You probably just listen to the first track. Nah, listen to the whole thing, bro. You know what I mean? I'm gonna actually, when I edit this clip, I'm gonna actually go down and show the, like, watch history or whatever and show you, like, I listen to all that shit. You know what I mean? Nah, bro, like, that just come on like how a Fiend described his first crack hop. Full speed intensity, no break, bro. The nigga, some of the lines in this shit, bro, is the stamp on the dope was Ronald Reagan with front. My man ran over his legs, all we heard was the crunch. Chase Bank, nobody moved, just finish your lunch. Damn, I got brain matter all over my dunks. Fake Democrat bulldaggers blowing at Trump. I put weight on so many bodies, you can call me a clump. Nah, bro, like, you gotta hear it on the beat. Like, I'm just like breaking it down so you can really, like, you know, see how this shit connected. Nigga had in the second verse he started off, he said William Block, Swahili and Mops. Imported a caramel cream Brazilian box. Some shit. Yo, these niggas. He said I got Wall Street, Nick. He said I got Wall Street bugging off of helium stocks. I got the fountain of youth, $1 million a pot. What the fuck is it? And that shit kind of slick because it almost sounds like a double entendre. Like, I got the fountain of youth, $1 million a pot. Like $1 million youth, like, you know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang for the babies, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, it just sound like that. You just never know. He said, shout out to shout out to Wheelchair Watt. They get busy. Polo shirts, they carve in your face. The Nike swoosh look pretty. Yeah, like, bro, this shit is like, and while I was talking about the movie shit, it got like skits on there too, with featuring Redman, Dave Chappelle, and it kind of like created that golden vibe or whatever with like little comedic interludes or like thematic like transitions and like kind of build like the album whole cinematic feel. Cause you know, like, both like to make his shit like a movie. You know what I mean? If you ever listen to it, like, that kind of how it plays out. It sounds scored, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Now, while some critics had found them to be like pacing interruptions and all of that, but we all understand that a lot of these people are part of the short attention span of it. You know what I mean? But others, you know, like myself, praise them for the humor, you know, and just adding flavor to the project. Like, the skit opens up, like, Redman is doing the intro skit, you know what I mean, which immediately, like, kind of set the tone, because y'all know, like, Redman be high, like, you know, or he be high, but, like, he be high energy as well. So, they had a pause skit, and it was like where Ghostface and his crew have a conversation and poke fun at the generation gap in hip hop and the changing lingo. You know what I mean? The skit kind of leads into the song Gorgy Porgy. You know what I mean? Which is pretty dope or whatever. I forgot the way we were bring that one up. Yeah, Gorgy Porgy was dope too. And yeah, like, it kind of like was a deep contract, and that shit was like real funny and shit. And like Gordy Porgy get a little, like, shit kind of like braggadocious, bravado, you know what I mean? Shit like that. The Sale of the Century skit, you know, y'all gotta go and check that one out. A highlight of the album, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, because this is the joint that features Dave Chappelle along with Ghostface. The humor is delivered through a sketch comedy style, like adding an unexpected but like welcome element to the project. The skit then serves as like a prelude to the dramatic track "The Trial," which, you know what I mean, I just told you I'll go crazy, bro. Method Man or whatever Method Man was walking on everything. You know what I'm saying? But then they had the Lenny Green skit, and this featured like a featured the radio personality Lenny Green. You know what I mean? Known for his you know, he got that smooth voice on WBLS or whatever. You know what I mean? New York radio station, for those of y'all who don't know. And the skit is likely, you know, meant to be like a brief interlude introducing or referencing Green's like distinctive on-air presence and bringing a slice of classic NYC culture like to the album. Yeah. Everybody remembers WBLS or whatever and shit. Before we had Hip Hop Nation, that was what everybody listened to. You know what I mean? Now, I saw some people like, you know, comment and say that they found the album kind of uneven compared to the original due to, I guess, briefly and like, well, I guess like the scattered feel. But like, I didn't really find anything uneven or scattered about it, though. Like, classic, I mean, he kind of stuck to the basics. And just the energy was right, bro. Like I actually will go and listen to that shit again. You know what I mean? Shout out to Nas, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Mass appeal for, you know, opening like the floodgates. And I think this is dope too, because now with Nas being involved in that whole casino resort thing in Queens, I'm pretty sure we're gonna start seeing some of these legacy artists do residencies in New York City. And that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be fun to go to. You know what I mean? So yeah, it kind of got me thinking about the whole casino thing, because you know, Jay and them bidding for the casino, whatever, and to that 1515 Broadway. I got some content coming about that. But let me know what y'all think, man. Have you heard the album? And on some quick time with slime type shit, which one are you feeling the most? Raekwon, The Emperor's New Clothes, or Ghostface Supreme Clientele 2? Or do you have to take a drink and say both? I'm on the fence or whatever to take a drink. Like, if I had to make that choice, I'd be taking a shot. I don't know, bro. That Raekwon joint, I'm gonna listen to them both. Like, because they both on like both albums, bro. It's like, shit is, I don't know. It's like all over again. It's like that whole Cuban Link, Iron Man era, like. But yeah, bro. Shout out to Ghostface, man. That now was shit. Next up, we're gonna get into some sports news, baseball in particular, since we in season. Y'all know I'm waiting for football, but so the Seattle Mariners, Cal Riley, made history on Sunday, August 24th, yesterday, when he hit his 49th home run for the season. All right. Now, this monumental shot broke the single season record for most home runs by a primary catcher, not a hitter, a catcher. All right. surpassing Salvador Perez mark of 48 set in 2021. Riley achieved this milestone during an 11-4 victory over the Oakland A's, hitting both the 48th and 49th home run off of pitcher Jacob Lopez. The switch hitter, who also won the 2025 Home Run Derby, still had 31 games left in the season to add to his record-setting total. So, damn, like, yeah, this nigga Riley might go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Congrats to bro and everything like that, man. You know what I mean? That shit is dope for a catcher. You know? Still 31 more games. I didn't even realize we still had that much to go in baseball season. But got football on the way, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But more baseball news. From my New York, I know my Queens niggas is gonna say I got the wrong hat on. So the New York Mets will host the Philadelphia Phillies to begin a 3-game series starting today, I believe. The rivalry between the Mets and Philly, dubbed the Battle of the Broads. Has simmered for decades, but it truly intensified or whatever in the 2000s. You know what I mean? When both teams regularly competed for the National League, East title, and the playoff victories and all that, right? So the rivalry is considered to be like one of the most fierce in the National League. The Phillies generally dominated the early matchup, particularly in the beginning of the Mets' existence in the 60s. You know what I mean? One of the key moments I saw was Jim Bunning's perfect game for the Phillies against the Mets on Father's Day of 1964. The rivalry reached a fever pitch in 2007 when the Phillies famously erased a Game 7 deficit with 17 games left. Well, erased a 7-game deficit with 17 games left, winning the division in the final day while the Mets collapsed. I low-key remember that. I was living in California and shit like that. And what was crazy was, I just kept hearing it. Like, yo, man, how you feel about the Mets, man? The Mets, man. And I just kept telling them, like, yo, bro, not for nothing, but my side of New York, we Yankees, boy. The Philly star Jimmy Rollins had made a controversial comment before the season stating that the Phillies were the team to beat, which fueled the rivalry further. 2008, the Phillies went on to win the World Series, while the Mets last title that came, I think, in like 86. Yeah, like, damn, 39 years ago. The Mets, in 2015, though, they had won the National League pennant, while the Phillies were in a rebuilding phase or whatever and shit, taking the season series 14-5. This season included heated exchange and controversial slide by I'm trying to remember who did that shit. I want to say Lily, Utley, yeah, Utley, I think. But I was locked up, so I was really like watching the game or whatever and shit. I was in downstate when all of that was going on. I'm just trying to remember, like, yeah, because you know what? I think Taylor got injured. I forget. I don't want to hold y'all up with that. I literally just had a whole sport like brain fart. 2024, last year, the two rivals met in the postseason for the first time in the 2024 National League Division Series, with the Mets winning 3-1. In recent years, they played 2-game series in London back that year too. I remember like that was the overseas game. And shit, as of right now, they're still battling for, you know, the NL East title. You know, because they're about to start this whole series anyway. So we're gonna see who come out on top with that. You know, I told y'all I'm rooting for everything New York. But shout out to Philly though, you know what I'm saying? Like those are our cousins, you know, relatives and everything. Right down the way, bro. We come out there for cheese steaks and the Mitchell Nut store, all that. You know what I mean? They're actually scheduled to play a special Field of Dreams game in 2026. So that'll be fun to watch. I wonder where they're gonna play that at. Maybe if I get on my passport again, I might go to it. Should sound like fun. Yeah, man. So we definitely saying good luck to the Met today. Feel me? Yeah. That's our news segment for today. Yeah, we got Mayo. We got Bigxtheplug, new album out. I guess I'll listen to that since I, you know, commented on his drama. Let's comment on his art too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it fair. You know what I mean? Kind of dope or whatever, because it helps me kind of keep the balance and shit. You know what I mean? I'm a music lover. And I be here jamming. I be here making music. But they're jamming too. Yeah, Mr. Money. Ghostface Killer. What? Oh. Also, we about still up here. Yeah, we 16 hours, we 16 days, 12 hours, and 44 minutes away from Get Rich or Die Mama. Available on 9/11. I'm actually excited, you know what I mean, about the project. Got some dope things planned for it. And it's gonna be interesting or whatever too to see who show that love and who gonna front on a nigga. So I want to try something a little different today. I'm gonna add a new segment, and we'll call it Daylight Got a Story. Right? Sometimes I be telling these stories and like somebody, I was actually on Clubhouse telling one of these stories. Somebody say, yo, bro, that shit is hilarious. You need to tell that shit. So here we go. Tell y'all a jail story. So in 2015, I was indicted for criminal sale of a controlled substance. On this occasion, crack cocaine act. There's a whole article on it or whatever. Couple of them. But anyway, I go through the whole shit or whatever. I ended up copping out to one of the sales that they had me. 2 sales. You know what I mean? So copped out the one, and like they sentenced me to 3 years flat. Like I had a flat bid, so it was 3 years with 1 year post. So like I had to do the 3, come out and still do the year on parole. Like I couldn't max out or nothing. I was gonna be on paper no matter what when I got out. So, but anyway, when I get in there, I leave the county. They take me to Clinton for like a layover type shit, and then they took me to downstate like the next day or like 2 days later, something like that. It's crazy because Washington County Jail is like right by Albany, so it's like much closer to downstate than going all the way to fuck up to like Dannemora and anything. But they give you the number there, not officially, but you have the number. You know your number, right? But you don't get all your ID shit or whatever until you get in there. So now the whole crazy thing is, when I got to Clinton, like they give you like used uniforms. Like you don't get your new shit, like I said, until you get to downstate. So they give niggas like the used uniforms and shit. The shirt to the uniform that they gave me, I'll never forget the name. It said Cabrera, and it was a 96 number, right? So get on the bus in the morning. Now, when we come to get on the bus, there's it's a gymnasium in Clinton, and that's where they shackle everybody up and get ready to load them on the bus or whatever to go. So you had a lot of people going to different jails, going to downstate. Some people going to Southport, Fox, because they did some shit in Clinton. And this is the same spot where Tupac was at. This is where Lucky Luciano was, and he built like the church, so that he could go to mass and all that shit or whatever. And so I saw all that shit. I was in the Clinton Annex, Road H. I believe I was in cell 40 or cell 41. All right, and what I did remember them telling me was how the dude that was sitting next to me said, yeah, bro, this is the gymnasium where they found all the bodies when they redid the floor. So like when they redid the gymnasium floor in Clinton, when they took up the old floor, they found the remains of like 14 inmates under that shit. You feel me? So anyway, that was that. I was there for a couple days or whatever and shit. They moved me to downstate, go through the whole process. I get my number, and and then you kind of going through like this little orientation shit. They take you like do blood work and all this other stuff. You got like a psych person that you go sit down with. They ask you a couple like questions, and they move you around. So me in there bullshitting. When I go to the psych lady, she say, do you have any allergies? And I'm like, yeah, people. You have a special diet? And like, I like Coronas and beers on Sunday, like, with the football game. I'm just in there, bullshitting or whatever. And they bullshitted with me back. Because when they assigned me where I was gonna be for my reception period, so they put me in the wing. I can't remember what side of that wing, wing or what side of that downstate it is, but it's the wing where they put all the bug out, cuckoo birds, and and they got like the little padded. I don't know if they're padded per se, but it's just they don't let them have anything. They put this little like over thing, like you don't got no nothing, bro. They give them an eco spoon. Like they don't even let them use regular like plasticware. So I get in this shit or whatever. I'm not really paying attention to nobody or whatever. And to me, bro, jail is jail. Like, doesn't matter where they put me. It's all the same shit to me. So I'm in this shit, and then one day, so I'm in the cell, and they had me upstairs at the time. So, if anybody's ever been to downstairs, you know, like it's the tiers, so the bottom tier and the top tier. So I was at the top. I think it's like 6 cells, because it's like 2 side by side, like facing the front, like when you come up the stairs and you see those 2 doors. There's 2 doors or whatever and shit on like one side, and then it's like 2 on this side. There was 6 cells on each like tier. But there's another side of the thing. So anyway, that's that. And then they have multiple buildings. I think it's like A, B, C, D. E, like goes all the way up to G. You know what I mean? Like the darn, like in each wing. So I'm in A. And you got the bug out here. So the CO comes up there. I can't remember the dude's name. Shit. He's actually a cool CO too. But dude come up there or whatever, and he say, he asked me something. And so I like responded, intelligently. And so he walked to the stairs, like he's about to walk down to the bottom tier. And he like stopped in his tracks. And he turned around. Now by this time I done turned around. I'm gonna go sit back at the little desk and everything. Smoke me a couple of rolled up cigarettes and shit. We had fished the pouch and Clinton. Shout out wherever Brandon Del Air is. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the homie that and he had been up north before. You know what I'm saying? He just did a bit. Let's say cool white boy too, whatever it was. But he fished the pouch or whatever. He carried the stamp from the county to the up north. You know what I'm saying? And they got what they needed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I smoked that first cigarette in Clinton. It is like my first blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit had me whoopy, nigga. But yeah. So anyway, I'm downstairs or whatever, and the nigga is telling me, and he said, "Hold up." He said, "You're not crazy?" I said, "What you mean by crazy?" I said, "It depends how much they owe." And he said, "Nah, like you think you don't got no psychiatric problem?" I'm like, not that I'm aware of. I haven't been, professionally diagnosed and shit. So he said, "No shit. Nobody put you in here." Oh no. He said, "You fuck around with the psych people?" Because when you give smart ass answers, they, so I was like, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like when I started thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't playing with that bitch. So he asked me, he said, "Look," he said, "You want to be my porter?" He said, "Because my guy is going home or whatever in a couple of days and shit." I'm like, "Porter?" I said, "Like cleaning up and feeding?" I said, "I don't want to feed and clean up after these crazy motherfuckers." He's like, "Come on, man." Like, I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." I said, "I just want to do my time." I said, "I got 3 to do." You know what I mean? So the porter dude that was working there, he was a regular there. I think he was from Shitty or like Westchester County or something like that. So that nigga tell me, like, he come up to the door, he said, "Hey, bro." He said, "Dude, I think the officer's name was Bills." He said, "Yo, Bill said or whatever that you don't want to be a porter." He said, "Why not?" He said, "You want to sit up in this bitch all day?" He said, "Until they move you to a spot." But I don't want to be cleaning up, dealing with these crazy niggas. Bro, you're not dealing with shit. He said, my nigga, I sweep the floor, I mop this bitch like today. He said, and I do the feed-ins, like when the lunch comes, he said, and then I be getting like 2, 3, sometimes 4 extra trays or whatever and shit. He said, and trust me, my nigga. He said, when burgers and hot dogs and chicken wings and all that shit come, you gonna want that shit. And he said, then here's the seller, right? He said, oh, after that, he said, I be chilling in the gallery. He said, they got HBO, Showtime, Stars, all that shit, bro. He said, I've been watching The Wires, The Sopranos, all that shit. So when he played it like that, he said, and I'm rocking on the phone, bro. Because all these niggas crazy. They don't got nobody to call no way. And even if they did, like, they don't even get to be out like that to rock on the phone. So, my nigga, needless to say, I took the job, right? I'm rocking. And then what's crazy is because I'm the porter, I got movement. Because, you know, downstate, they run that shit like a max. You know what I mean? So you don't even go nowhere in that bitch, whatever, without no real chaperone. Like an officer with him. That shit hella restricted. So, you know, I wasn't doing no crazy shit like that with no like drugs or nothing like that. But, you know, I was moving tobacco around, and like because I was the only nigga with movement, I was able to, you know, get a nice little feedback. I always had shit to smoke, whatever. By the time I left downstate, bro, I was up hella stands. So the crazy story or whatever and shit, there's a couple crazy stories or whatever that happened in downstate. So first person I really encountered or whatever and shit was, it was this little, it was a Jewish guy. I call him a kid because he was younger than me. But the motherfucker had Down syndrome, y'all. And so, you know, I'm feeding the tray, you get the kosher trays and all this shit. And it was crazy because, you know, I was wondering, like, sometimes when they're a little, like, you know, like that, and they end up in prison, it's usually because they, you know, do some, like, sex offense, you know, type shit, right? Or, like, extreme, like, crazy violence, or, like, you know, somebody that's, like, helpless or some shit like that. So, I'm like, man, I hope I ain't sitting here, you know, being all extra catering to this weirdo ass nigga and shit, right? So I finally got curious. I'm comfortable with everybody now. I just finally said, I say, yo, fine, little bro. I said, what you do to get in here? He say, well, you know what they did? I robbed the bank. I robbed the bank. He's like, yeah. I used to know. So I'm like, lying. He probably told me to say that shit so you don't get beat up or stuff. Nobody put glass in it. But in the bubble where the COs be at, they have all of the cells and they have the names of the people next to them. And if you look, it's like they be color coding it with marker, at least in that form or whatever and shit. So they got like SO or some shit or whatever. And that's like sex offender. So he ain't had no red shit like on his joint. So he wasn't in there for nothing, you know, for no freak shit, no weirdo shit. But yeah, this motherfucker really robbed the bank or whatever. Like he walked into a bank with a note and tried to dance. I'm like, somebody might have put him up to that shit and just let him take the rap, like knowing like you ain't really finna get. But I told him, I said, yo, bro, you know, with your like little yarmulke and everything like that, you probably could have walked in there with a bogus check with your, you know, with your name on it. And they probably would have just said, like, yeah. So that's fine. And the crazy shit is he was Jewish, right? So the rabbi used to come and check him. It was this one crazy dude that called himself Harlem. And he used to be in that bitch talking about, anytime the CO would tell him something, he'd be like, I'm not doing that. I have sovereignty. And one day the rabbi comes to see Farnham or whatever, and Harlem calls out for the rabbi. And he's telling the rabbi, he said, yo, bro, I want to be Jewish. Now, he didn't even say I want to be Jewish. Then he said, I want to be a Jew, you heard? That's what he said, like verbatim. I want to be a Jew, you heard? So he's like, you want to, he said, well, why do you want to convert to, he's like, oh, he said, that's good. Like, you know, something to that effect. But I remember that, like, Rabbi, I'm on my door now listening, because every time I'm listening to talk to somebody, like, I'm listening, because these things have become my entertainment at this point, right? So I'm listening to him or whatever talk to the rabbi. And he tells the rabbi he wants to be a Jew. And then the rabbi says, why? He said, yo, you see them culture trainings or whatever they be giving that dude, the little fat dude downstairs? Yo, they be getting mad good shit in that. He said, I need that. Yo, I started dying. The rabbi looking at me because I'm standing in the door. I'm like, oh, me. I ain't got that kind of pull. You feel me? So that was that, right? So that's weird incident number. But the shit really got crazy is one day, you know, they let everybody out on the gallery. Because they did give niggas rec time. They didn't keep them all cooped up in there like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes they let them all go out. Like I used to watch them bug out play baseball, bro. Softball, whatever and shit. Go out there. That shit fun, funny as hell. So it's this dude that they call Santana. Man, this guy, chubby. No bullshit. Homie looked like the dinosaur baby. Not the mama. Like, yeah, just, you know, in state greens. So we sitting out there, so we sitting in the gallery or whatever, we watching the movie. I forget what we were watching. And one of the young homies, he from like Brooklyn or some shit. So he's looking at this nigga, because the dude Santana came up and asked me for a lighter. I said, yeah, I got a lighter. Can I use it? I'm like, not here. No, you can't smoke in the gallery. You're not really supposed to smoke in your cell either, but you know how that shit go, bro. They was like, that's rock out. Fuck out, we smoked 23 hours. Like, we sitting in there with the cigarettes and shit, and you think niggas be gonna wait for that 1 hour to go outside and smoke? You got it. But so Santana's on the gallery or whatever and shit. So you finally said, I said, bro, just sit down and enjoy the movie. I'll light your cigarette for you or whatever when they lock it. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be the last person out. I gotta put all the chairs up. So he was like, okay. So he sit there. And then I guess he decided he's gonna sit close to me to make sure that he don't miss the opportunity to get his cigarette lit. So little like young, he finally say, yo, what you in here for, yo? And so I'm like, yo, bro, leave the nigga alone. Because I don't know what Santana was in here for, and he seemed weird enough to be on some shit. So I wasn't really trying to see a situation pop off, at least not with me sitting in between them. So I was like, oh, bro, nah, bro, I ain't trying to fuck with him tonight. He said, I'm just saying. He said, people like him, they shouldn't be in here with niggas like us. And I thought it was so funny how he said people like him. Like, not niggas like him, but like people like him and niggas like us. Like, you know what I mean? I thought that shit was more right. So look, bro, so once I realized that the young wasn't trying to, like, you know, line him up or nothing like that or whatever, I just looked at him like he's looking at me like, can I answer him? I'm like, go ahead, tell him. Why you ain't? I don't know. I'm trying to find out with anybody else. So this nigga say, Jesus broke into my house and I stabbed him. Just like that. Now, I told you his name is Santana in Spanish. I'm thinking maybe you're talking about Spanish, right? Then he said, my friend was there and he shot him. But then he just disappeared. I'm like, what you mean like disappeared? See, I wasn't gonna say shit. I didn't want to get involved in this at all. Like that's why I didn't even want the little nigga to ask him, right? So I'm like, what you mean, like, you know? So, but I'm thinking like, yo, okay, he's Spanish. Maybe he's talking about a dude named Jesus. Like, I mean, I know a bunch of niggas named Jesus that's Spanish. Jesus, Jesus, look. He said, I said, what you mean disappeared? Like he went on the run? He said, no, like he disappeared like in the air. And for some reason when he said that, I believe this motherfucker believed that he stabbed Jesus Christ. And at that point, kind of cautious with him, right? Because, you know, mind you, this motherfucker told me that it was his birthday and that he was going home the next day. That come later, right? This is on a Tuesday. So I know this is Tuesday because what I'm going to tell y'all happened after the fact or whatever is fucking insanity, right? So I tell Santana, I say, like, it's some chairs in the back, like, you know, with rows of chairs. So I just point to the chairs in the back. I said, hey, bro, see them chairs back there? And he said, yeah. I said, go sit back there or whatever. I said, bro. I said, that's a no Jesus zone. And I don't want you to catch another charge. You know what I'm saying? Have to be here any longer than you need to. That motherfucking crazy ass dude got up and went and sat back there, right? And watched the movie. And he fiddling with the cigarette. So he can't wait to get this shit lit. Fast forward, Wednesday comes, the next day. He tells me it's his birthday. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, all right, happy birthday or whatever and shit. By this time I already been in long enough to get a package. I think I gave that nigga like shit. I gave him like a couple cigarettes and I don't know, maybe something like that. Not coffee, because I don't think we could eat. I don't think we had the water to heat that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But anyway, these niggas he tells me it's his birthday, and then he tells me he's going home tomorrow. I'm like, oh shit, well what a dope ass gift, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the next morning, when I have to serve the breakfast, I don't serve Santana. Because as far as I know, he got released this morning. So let's just say an hour or so after breakfast had ran and I passed everything out and I ate and I'm just sitting out here watching TV because I swept and mopped and do all this shit, right? Miller comes to me or whatever and he said, yo, I want to say Santana might have been in 37. Cell 37. He's like, yo. He said, you ain't beat 37? So I'm trying to think of who's 37. So I said, yeah, he went home. He's like, oh. He's like, nah, man. He said, he always thinks he's going home or whatever. He said, he told you it was his birthday yesterday. I'm like, yeah. I gave him some cigarettes and some, like, you know, some little snacks and shit. And he said, he's like, yo. He said, here's the thing, right? He said, this guy kept saying, you know, when he was going home, like, you know what I mean, when he was going home. And so somebody finally gave him, you know, went over his time computation sheet because he didn't know what day. Like, it had the date on it, but it doesn't say the day of the week that he's going home. So They weren't supposed to tell him Thursday. You know what I mean? So now he said, I guess they told him his birthday was, like, your birthday is on a Wednesday and his name is Thursday. And ever since that damn site lady told him that shit, every week on Wednesday and Thursday, he thinks Wednesday is his birthday and he thinks Thursday he's going home. And every week. Because I was there for another 3 weeks and I went through that shit with him for the next 3 weeks. And him telling me he's going home on Thursday. That shit was crazy. And that's my story or whatever. That's at least the downstate part, you know what I mean, of it. Because I ended up going to Ulcer Correctional before I went to shop. That's the real excitement happened. Maybe I'll tell that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll probably just start doing that. Do a little rundown of, like, current events and, like, little stories I'm interested in. And then I'll turn around and I'll tell y'all a story from the Adventures of Daylight. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Straight like that. Rise and Grind live show. New episodes Monday through Friday morning. We be supposed to. We be supposed to. Hey, shit. Yeah, we always supposed to start these shit, whatever. I am committed to starting this shit in mind. But I must be honest with you. I don't live a 9-to-5 lifestyle. I've been doing a lot of shit. Like I said, music, rapping, I've been editing videos at the same time, putting these shows together, like, you know what I mean, every day for the, thing. Because if I was just these other YouTubers or whatever, and I just primarily came on here and talk shit, like, that shit would be easy. Like, I could post a video like every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just talk random shit to you. But I usually like to come with some news you can use, or some information, or some form of entertainment or whatever and shit, Niggas got talent over here, so I got something to offer. But shout out to everybody who pulled up. That's right. Also, y'all, make sure y'all be on the lookout or whatever for that Get Rich or Die Moment for me. And shout out to everybody who pulled up, man. Try to take the wrong thing off. Yeah, man. Batman, Stacks, Sabina, Money James. No, I love you, baby. AJ, man, out that west. My nigga Southwest, Capo, Detroit. You know what I mean? And anybody else or whatever who pulled up, man. Appreciate y'all coming, functioning with the boy. And yeah, man, hit that like, subscribe button, smash that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content. If you watch this all the way through or whatever and shit, really appreciate y'all. And shit, as always, man, stay dangerous so that y'all could be safe. It's your boy Daylight TV. I'm out.